What's up, everyone? This is Dale from Upstate Bets and DFS. I'm here with my partner Reoz, bringing you guys this 10-game slate here on Monday. We're over on Prize Picks, as always, covering some player props for you guys. We do NFL on Sundays. We also cover NBA Monday through Saturday. So thank you guys for joining. The channel's been growing at a rapid rate. If you haven't played Prize Picks before, it's a very simple way to play. You take over under on player props. So here on points, we got LaMelo Ball at 20. You could take the over under on him. You can string these guys together in multiple different categories, multiple different games, and across different sports. They offer college sports, NFL, esports. So really fun way to play. As always, we talk about NFL and we're saying, season-long leagues are starting to end, so people are starting to hop in. There's a lot of new players lately, but it's always nice. You play against the house. There's not like 100,000 people you're playing against, so really good way to just dive into the game, and really good way to potentially make some cash too. So you're in the right spot. You're in the right hands here on Upstate. We're at it, researching every day. So thank you guys for joining. Like I said, the channel's been going great. We also offer a free Discord down in the description, so you might want to hop in there because NBA is changing every hour. There's people getting listed as inactive. People are going into health and safety protocols. People are coming out of health and safety protocols. So hop in there to help you stay updated. There's also some accounts on Twitter you can follow, some fantasy labs and stuff like that, that'll help you stay kind of in the loop, because you always want to make sure that you're checking that as things goes on. Lines change and stuff too, as you guys know. You can sign up using promo code Upstate on PrizePicks if you haven't yet. So just type in if you go on PrizePicks, type in Upstate, and that'll give you a 100% deposit match on your first deposit up to $100. So if you put in 100, you get 100 back to play with. So awesome deal they offer here on PrizePicks. We also offer some premium content, and Riaz is going to tell you about that.
Yeah, we got a Patreon. We had an unbelievable Sunday. Combined, me and Dal, we went 7-2 for NFL, and then we threw in a nice little two-pick power for the NBA games. Went 2-0, and just an unbelievable day. And we're just going to continue to pump out great content, winners every single day, and I highly recommend it. I highly recommend joining. You can find that in the description below or at www.patreon.com/upstate.
Awesome time last night, man. I hope everyone who's in the Patreon now, was hitting on their bets. I mean, it was a really good time. Like that little two pick power for the NBA was last minute, and it was a really good hit by Reoz. So thankful for everyone that's hopped in so far. But we're here on a Monday, got a 10-game slate. Let's fire out this slate here. So we're gonna go category by category, talking about some players here. So who on this list on points, Reoz, interests you?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these Charlotte guys and really Wizards guys, I think this game's going to it's going to have a really high just game total, and you really can't go wrong with Rozier. No Dinwiddie for Washington. We saw how bad Charlotte struggled against Phoenix, but Phoenix just plays great defense. It seems like everyone kind of struggles against them, and we just seen so far this year, Rozier, when he gets hot, he just makes a ton of threes. The volume for threes is incredible. And we saw the two games before Phoenix, 35-27. So I think here you're getting a nice little discount at 17 and a half. And really, if you look at the box scores between Rozier, LaMelo, Gordon Hayward, just all of them. No one played 30 minutes. Just a tough game in general. So I look for this Charlotte team to have a nice little bounce back here against Washington.
Yeah, Rozier's a guy that can go out there, week in, week out, or game by game, I should say, and really just give you a lot of production. Blowout yesterday against Phoenix. Miles Bridges is back in the loop. Played against Phoenix yesterday, only 26 minutes. Kind of scares me a little bit about these Charlotte guys. I'm never around someone like Mason Plumlee, so I'm ignoring him. But these top four guys, between LaMelo and those. I mean, Bridges looks pretty good, I'd say, too. I mean, I wouldn't be that scared to go to Bridges, but between the four, it's tough. But like Rhea said, I expect this game to have a high game total. I like Kuzma in this spot, too. I know there's a lot of talk about Kuzma. People never wanted to go to Kuzma for a lot of his props, but he's been smashing. And he had that really late three against Chicago. I feel like he's the type of guy that starts to get confidence in his game. Like, he's just like a volume kind of guy. And as soon as he starts hitting some shots, like, he's due for a big night. So he's coming off a really big shot. I like that. I think he's going into this game with some confidence going against Charlotte. Really good matchup. Beal's been playing the point guard too. I'm going to talk about him a little bit in the assist category, but the ball's been swinging Kuzma's way. So I like Kuzma here in this spot as well. I know 18 seems high. He's a guy that kind of hovers around like 11, 12, but 18 looks pretty good tonight, especially how high he's been shooting.
Yeah, without a doubt. Just go into some of these 8 o'clock games. Really good game here, Chicago and Orlando. Uh, Definitely another game where we could see a really high game total. Orlando's starting to get a little bit healthier, getting Mobamba back. Still no Cole Anthony, so uh, we've been talking about this guy a lot, Gary Harris. The problem with this game is Chicago's been kind of blowing teams out, but they've also been uh, hitting some game winners with DeMar DeRozan, and 4 out of the last 5 for Gary Harris. 23 his last game against Boston yesterday. So a lot of upside for him. He's been taking advantage of no Cole Anthony, just getting a ton of run, which is really nice to see. And when you have a guy like Gary Harris who gets the green light whenever he wants to shoot, it's kind of hard to ignore 14 and a half.
Yeah, I was on Gary Harris. Early on when Cole Anthony first got out in that game against the Hawks, he played well. He shot like 11 free throws in that game, which got us there. But a really good 3-point shooter, definitely can get hot at any time. And if you guys are wondering between DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, I mean, I think both look really good. I mean, I think Lonzo Ball is Lonzo Ball coming back tonight.
He is, yep.
So I mean, it could get a little bit tough, but I think Lonzo's not really going to take away much of the scoring aspect. Vucevic was hitting some threes last game. That was just a really good game all around for that team. But DeMar's got the hot hand. He really does. But usually Levine takes the more volume of shots. Levine's hit 8 out of his last 10, believe it or not. I mean, on that prop. I mean, he has been absolutely smashing. I mean, that game against Atlanta, he was point 0.5 off, so I should say 7 out of the last 10. But he's a guy that can just go give you 30 any given night. So we're missing some Brooklyn guys right now, and Portland. They're without Damian Lillard and McCollum tonight, so Powell's another guy they can look to who's going to take a lot of volume of shots. But who down here, lower between Warriors, no Miami lines, Clippers, Minnesota, who down here you have interest in?
Yeah, I mean, I've been on Clint Capella for his past 2 games. He's just been playing really well as of late. Back to back 18-point games versus two very good teams in Cleveland and Chicago. And against Portland, I have no problem going back to him. I don't think Nurkic is still playing. They have Larry Nance Jr. down there, but we know he plays great defense. But Clint Capella this season has just been super steady, playing really well, and he just gets his shots in. It's crazy to think that Clint Capella goes out and shoots 15, 16 times. 2 games ago, I was on him. He was at 14 and a half, and he ended up obviously getting over that, but he had 12 shots in the first half, so volume is definitely there for Clint Capella.
Yeah, he got there with no free throws made either. So, and that's in a matchup where I believe Jarrett Allen was back in the lineup too. So a little bit tougher of a matchup than he did against Vucevic. 1 out of the 2 games they played. So he does it against some pretty solid teams. Here against Portland, should have his way down there in my opinion. Other than that, I mean Marquise Morris. Marcus Morris, I should say, gets a really good bump. He's hit 5 out of the last 5. But Reggie Jackson is back, and he hasn't been playing particularly well. I mean, he's missed all his last 5 games over this 19 and a half. But between these Clippers guys, I think I'm safe to go back to Morris here at 18 and a half, and I think that's pretty much it for me here in points.
Yeah, let's jump right over to rebounds.
Sorry if you can hear my dog barking, but over in rebounds, yeah, there's a couple guys here. I think one of the guys I really wanted to go to down at the bottom, um, and that's gonna be Rudy Gobert, man. Rudy Gobert at 14 and a half. I think he's just been smashing, and I think here against Willie Hernan Gomez, I think he should have his way again. I'm not scared to go to him at 14 and a half.
No, 14 does seem really high, but we just see the output Gobert just continues to do on a daily basis. So I don't mind that at all. A guy that I want to touch on is Joel Embiid. No Christian Wood tonight, which will really help. The thing that scares me for this game with no Wood, no Porter is just the blowout factor. But at 10 and a half, there's really no one that's going to match up well with Joel Embiid. And I was on him a couple days ago on the Patreon, and I'll kind of just say what I said there. We really haven't seen him have a monster game. I mean, we would think his rebounds would be right around 12, 12 and a half. And at 10 and a half, it just still seems like a really good discount because we just haven't seen that monster game. I mean, 13 against Washington, then He just kind of been stagnant right around 10, 11 every single game. So it's getting close to the line. I think tonight against Houston, he starts off early, and he could very well have 7, 8 boards going into the second half. So definitely on Joel Embiid tonight.
Yeah, the blowout does scare me a little bit there, but he's a guy that really can do it. In a few quarters, realistically, I mean, he's a guy like we said, we're waiting for a big one out of him, so I don't mind him at all. Giannis is a guy who played really well against New Orleans, and that's why I'm back on Gobert really. And that's Giannis just went out there and had 16 against the Pelicans as well. So he's good tonight too. Onto the Kupo, they're playing Detroit. Detroit's starting to get a little bit healthier, but regardless, I don't know if they're. I know Cade Cunningham is questionable to come back tonight. I don't know if he's absolutely playing, but same with Isaiah Stewart too. So I mean, I don't know. Giannis looks good to me. He's a guy that can go out there and smash any night. And then I was wondering what your thoughts were on Draymond Green going against Miami tonight.
I actually really like Draymond Green. I don't like him in this category. Um, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, the center from Miami, but he's just been grabbing way too many boards. He had 16 on Sunday. He just continues to rack up 10, 11, 12 rebounds every single game. But the minutes scare me a little bit for him. He hasn't played since Christmas Day. We don't know if he's going to be on a minute restriction, so I would definitely take a look into that.
Yeah, and I think it's year 7. I mean, I think it's just pronounced how it's how it's spelled, but someone will probably go in the comments and absolutely torch me for saying that wrong. But we'll jump to assists, man. And like I said, Bradley Beal, he's getting some point guard runs, 17 assists going against Chicago. Really good production when he plays the point guard, and I like this Washington team when he plays the point. I think he just with the ball in his hands every possession. I think that's just how Washington thrives. And I said a majority of the passes are going towards Kuzma's way. They closed the game with Anthony Gill, and they had Daniel Gafford out there playing like 25 minutes. He has got some pick and roll action going on there. Just some shooters. Corey Kispert, Caldwell Pope can shoot the ball too, so he's got some shooters around him. And I think Beal looks good here. I know 9's high. This opened at 8. So I understand if you don't want to go here tonight, but like I said, I expect another big one out of Beal tonight.
It just really helps that he is running the point guard position here, and we know Bradley Beal's an unbelievable scorer. He started off slow, but as of late, he's been scoring really well. And coming off 17 assists, it's kind of hard not to go back to someone. And I truly believe this game is going to be very high scoring. So, a ton of opportunities for Beal to get assists here tonight.
Yeah, and Wagner was a guy early on in the year. When they were dealing with all that injury stuff, and as they still are with no Cole Anthony, this was a guy people were going to. I mean, he's been shying away from passing the ball. He's been shooting the ball really well. Could he get it going tonight in the assist category? I know some people might be wanting to go there tonight. I don't feel safe taking that line at all, really. Anyone outs here, really? I mean, Trae Young's a guy, back-to-back 11 a game, assists. So, I mean, really, who do you like here?
I like Draymond Green here at 7.5. We saw just the output of assists he had. Couple games over 10, 4 out of the last 5. I know it's been a while, like I said, but Draymond Green really is just the playmaker for this team, and I think that's just going to allow Curry to make more shots. And when you have Steph Curry on your team, that's just really the primary guy you're looking for. And Draymond Green is just going to rack up so many assists just going to Curry, going to Wiggins. We know his scoring output is horrendous, so really this line at 7.5, it sits right around his season average. So I don't mind that at all against this actually pretty good Miami team getting back to full health.
Yeah, I really like Draymond there too as well. I think he plays really good against better talent. I think Miami's a team that's going to come out strong. We'll see how things go for Miami. There's no lines for out for them right now, so I don't know who's really in, who's out as of right now. I guess things will update as the day goes on. And let's go to 3 points made, man. So there's a couple guys here. Who do you like?
I'm back on Steph Curry over 5. I love his line whenever it's at 5. I think Draymond Green being back is just gonna help. It's just gonna help him out even more. We know Miami plays great defense, but it seems that Steph Curry is not unguardable, but just the volume of shots. When you have someone shooting 14, 15 threes every single game, especially how well of a percentage he shoots, it's tough not to think he's gonna make six. And like we were on him for Utah. I mean, the game just looked. Like it was coming to an end. He was going to be stuck at five, and with a minute left, while they're already winning pretty handedly at the end when it just seemed like the game was over. He chucks one up and makes it. So at five, I really love that line at five.
Yeah, yeah, he's viable in and out every night. I don't really have to say much about him. DeRozan's a guy too that's hit back to back. This is a game against Indiana where he's shooting one leg to win the game. Hits that the day after, comes against Washington, hits a corner, like a pump fake 3-pointer right in the corner to ice Washington as well. So if the game's on the line, I like DeMar DeRozan over one because he's probably going to hit it. So other than that, I mean, Trae Young, he hit five against Cleveland. I don't mind going back to there. And then between Rozier, LaMelo, I think Bridges might take away a little bit. But between the two, I mean, Rozier looks better to me. And I think that's it for me here in threes.
Yeah, I'm right there with you.
And then in fantasy score, man, a lot of guys. I mean, Denny's a guy, here on Price Picks, you get 4 points for a block and a steal. And Denny's always the guy that will guard one of the best players on the other team. I mean, he was all over Levine and DeRozan in that game. Only put up 21, but he's a guy where his minutes are starting to increase. If he can get his shot rolling a little bit too, and especially being such a good on-ball defender, he's viable really for me at 22, honestly, to go out there. And especially he's probably going to be on LaMelo tonight, dealing with him. If not, they're going to stick him on Bridges, and I think he looks pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean it's huge when you get those 3 points for a block and a steal. Right underneath him, Maxi. This Houston game, you never really know who's going to go out and play for Houston. They're a real young, scrappy team, and he had a monster game against Brooklyn, having almost 40 fantasy score. And I touched on him. His line was at 25, and it took a big jump here at 30. The matchup could be the reason why, but no problem going to Maxi. He just does a lot for this team. He just drives the ball, gets the ball to the rack. And the big thing for me here is just like with Denny, steals. I mean, when you get three every single time he gets a steal, that's just huge. And I would like to see assists and rebounds kind of rack up a little bit more, but we know his scoring output can just be tremendous at times.
Yeah, I totally agree. Down here a little bit more. Diallo's a guy. He's at 37. Obviously he's been looking good, but with Cade Cunningham coming back and Detroit starting to get a little bit healthier, he's a guy I want to say go. I want to take the over on him, but I know some people are probably gonna be gravitating towards him. I just wanted to mention that with Detroit getting healthier, he's a tough guy to go to tonight. It might be even a little bit high. So he's a guy that maybe even under you can take a look at, but that one's sketchy to me. And same with Garza. I don't know who's really going to get the start here tonight, and who they're going to roll out. But Garza's a guy too at 27, had a really good game against San Antonio, and now it's just like this team is just a mess. So I don't really want to go to any of these guys in Detroit.
No, I mean, if Stewart wasn't playing, I would definitely say Garza is very viable. Just the fact that he finally got his scoring back and just playing really well. But a guy right next to him, I have no problem going to Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis has been playing really well, scoring the ball phenomenally, which is really great to see. 29.5 seems like a good discount. We've seen him range from 33, 35, and at here at 29.5, it might be playing into the blowout factor. But if Detroit plays this game close and Bobby Portis stays out of foul trouble, he's gonna have no problem getting over 30 fantasy score here tonight.
Yeah, huge energy guy, and especially if the game, does blow out, I think Portis will get a little bit more usage too. He'll be able to put up some more shots. So don't mind Portis there at 29.5 at all. I mean, Jokic is a guy who just continues to smash. I mean, he fouled out in that game against Houston and still got 40 fantasy points. I mean, he didn't even really play a full 30 minutes in that game, and he got us there. But Dallas, no Porzingis. I believe Luka is playing too, so he might be on a minutes limit, Luka. So depleted Dallas team possibly could blow out. I'm not sure. So other than that, man, who here interests you? We got some Minnesota lines here. Heroes on here too. Some Miami guys. So who here at the bottom? Any interest?
Yeah, I don't mind Vanderbilt. We saw when Carl Anthony Towns has been out, he's been playing pretty well. he's just barely missing this over in his last 5 games. Got over one time against the Lakers, but he's very viable. He's a phenomenal rebounder. He grabs upwards to 11, 12 boards a game. It's just gonna be the scoring, but still no Towns, still no Russell. I have no problem kind of getting the discount out of Reed and Edwards, but Edwards is always phenomenal. He could score 37 just in actual points.
Yeah, yeah, and with Towns being out, Vanderbilt, I don't think he looks that bad to me. And like we said, like you said about Edwards, I like him too. So, other than that, man, I mean, we got 10 games, so a little bit longer of a video, but I think we covered just about everyone we kind of like. And like Reoz said in the beginning, if you're interested in signing up on the Patreon, I mean, we're gonna be flooding content over there. Especially tonight, it's a dual sport night, NFL, NBA. So we don't do the NFL video, but that's a good way where you can hop in. And we've been absolutely smashing NFL. So you want to hop in, you'll get our NFL picks for tonight, NBA picks as well. And not even just picks. I mean, a solid analysis on players that we like. I mean, we dive into the YouTube videos. We got some more write ups going on over there. We're working on some other things that are special. I'm not gonna kind of bring that stuff into light yet because it's a long work in progress. But some exciting things are going on over there, man. So it's an awesome time to get in. It's the beginning of the month. So thank you guys, all the support. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, like the video too, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace.